Out of the arena could go where they're having the rodeo right now, the Stampede. Oh, brother. Talk about a man who went too far.
And his opponent, being accompanied by the bad apple Brian Keith from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Weighing 225 pounds, he is the FTW champion, the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho.
Well, let's take a look at exactly how Chris Jericho went too far. Hook, Samoa Joe, and Katsuyori Shibata, they were victorious last night, but Brian Keith, Big Bill, and Chris Jericho attacked them after the bell. But then this was the scene as Hook was being attended to by the AEW medical staff. Jericho, the fireball into the face of Hook. And I spoke to the medical team earlier today. They could not divulge what happened to Hook, but they made it clear that he was not clear to travel, let alone compete here tonight. So Chris Jericho doing some pretty serious damage to the cold-hearted handsome devil, to Hook.
We have...
Yeah, it's good to be back streaming after a while. Let me turn the volume. Oof.
In a minute, is what I tell them.
Here she is, the girl. The Bay.
I've noticed I'm a lot stronger than the other Arcanists.
I'm gonna do my dailies just to get some more drops before we begin with the polls. I'm kind of worried. I got Everecho really fast. I got her in my first 10 poll. But
See you next time.
I'm still worried as to how quickly I end up getting a Cornerstone. Because I don't have pity. I only have like 50 or so polls, so I am kind of terrified.
Very well. Let me try my hand. Hey, Black Dancing. Ah, what a dream. Ilusiones apartado. La verdad se revela. Come back to me. Concentrate and visualize. Come back to me.
I started this account around 3.2.
It's like the creeping shroud of night.
So I have every character to have been released since then, except Miss Stranger, who I deliberately skipped. I'll probably be skipping the collab on this account too because I can just I'm just gonna get everything on global. Will help me save for 4.0. Because the whole point of this account is so I can play stuff beforehand, and there's really no point in getting stuff on the collab when I can just get it on global. I don't have the foresight on that, do I? So oh, that's right. Puppet Arena's back. I'll have to play that later. But here we go, man. I have 55 pulls. I'm kind of worried, bro. I can't hold you. I don't feel... I'm not confident in these. I mean, I said that about Ramona and I got her in 20, but what do I know? Let's do it. Okay, 5-star. I think I should have enough for another... Oh, we can do that at the end. Oh my fuck, dude! You have to be... I can't even be yelling that loud. It's like 7:30 in the morning. Please, dude. Oh my god, fuck. Do not let me lose this, please. I'm begging you, man. At least let me get 2. Please just let me. Please don't let me lose this, bro. Yes! Oh my god! Are you fucking joking?
Finally meet you, timekeeper. I'm Cornerstone.
I'm gonna. Bro! Oh my god!
Ah, straight to the handshake. I like it.
Holy
What
shit!
do you need doing? I'll do
Oh my god, dude, my luck has been something else, dude. I'm so yes! 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 The only thing stopping me from, like, really popping off is the fact that it's so early. Oh, that makes me so happy. Holy shit.
If you keep dozing off on your feet like that, the fledglings...
Okay, before we get into her character story, I am going to build her up best I can. Oh, shit. Oh, actually, yeah, let's put her in the wilderness. Why not? You're useless. Get out of my sight. Where is she? There you are. She's sexy as hell. I can't hold you. Oh.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year, everyone!
Happy New Year, she says in July. Where is she? Where is she? There she is!
Oh, no. Sorry, timekeeper. Could you wait by the door? I just need to sort this out. There. That's better. Come in. Maybe left foot first.
Why is there shit all over the floor? That just makes her even more wifey. Oh, look at her signature. It's her foundation badge. Oh, that's cool.
Whoa, this is a generous budget. Far more than we need for the... Wait, this is for me, personally.
Well, she's just gonna use it on the budget anyway.
Have I just won the suitcases version of the Pritzker Architecture Prize?
No, I just need you kicking some ass for me, that's all. Oh, her insight is beautiful.
Must listen intently, to the point where we forget ourselves, before we can see what's been overlooked. That's how we come to truly understand these structures.
It's peak? Oh, it can be crafted, who cares? Yeah!
Whoa, this is a generous budget. Far more.
And then her Psycube, Where are you? There you are. Snatch.
Oh, no. Sorry, timekeeper.
Right. Oh, I could have used the main bulletin store, but who cares? Oh my god, I didn't even equip it for her. Yeah, I'm going at like a much lower investment than I usually do. When it comes to this account, I'm going much lower investment than I do on my global. 'Cause obviously I'm just gonna build everything up when I get to
Take a seat.
when I get them on global. So this account's really just for foresight and being able to play the stories early. Get everything. I can play some rounds of puppet match if we get done quickly, because I gotta be out of the house by 10. Very excited for this. Okay, let's play this. Oh, she looks good there. Oh, let's play the survey. And what do you fucking know? The Demon Child has another new team. I called it. I said in one of the Discords I'm in, that I would not be surprised if Flutter Page was in this team because reposts count as extra actions, right? So I said I would assume that she's gonna be this is gonna be one of the teams that she's gonna be prominent in. I'm gonna have to find an alternative. I am not taking Flutter Page away from UA, so it is what it is. I love the fucking brick overhead. It's so cool.
A sharp blade.
What
Yep.
are the site conditions?
Ancient spirits of a new. I beseech you.
She has the fucking Tesseract just floating over her head, man. It's so cool. Like, Reverse has really stepped up the game when it comes to character animations. Not just alt-wise, but like just in general. And yeah, man. And Jay, my Bay Area brother. The dude is at a T0 sustain now, which is the craziest shit. Like, you would not, I would have never expected something like that to happen. But it's amazing. It's amazing that, like, literally just this one patch has made him not just viable, but top tier.
Sharp blade.
And I don't have him on global, which means I'm gonna have to shell out extra pulls to go for him. But I have no problem with that because he's awesome.
Mind moves stone.
When he comes out on Ripples, he is gonna be my target. I also don't have Hisabeth. I would like to get Hisabeth, but I just don't think I have enough investment. I also don't have Noir.
My rules. Why don't I introduce you to the lady in my life?
So it's like, why would I invest in the this interesting new neg status team that they've been building if if I don't have the DPS? God, the counter looks so good! Oh my god.
One of my best moves. What I'm good at.
Time to heat up the forge.
Fletchling.
You're on a rep.
Model it. Test it. Let's remeasure this.
Hear me.
And her animations are just beautiful, man.
These sheets are my
Why does she only need 4 Moxie? I find that very
My turn.
interesting. I'm not complaining about it though.
I can do this.
Melt it down. Forge it up.
I'm excited. If Jay literally went up like 3 tiers because of his Euphoria. We have to see what 37s will end up being when it comes around in 4.0. Yeah, now she really got the Cosmic Cube. Look at that big ass fucking box, man. Phew! Holy fuck! That did 5 million damage. Look, I know that it's not. I know that they're all P2, but like still, what the shit fucking hell was that, bro?
Yes, the flock is
Oh my god.
Test it. Until it finally
Get out of
stands.
here.
A blueprint of greatness. Time to break ground.
Higher than a bell tower, and even the clouds.
I for sure thought I was fucked because ugh, I skipped Miss Stranger.
Ancient spirits of a new.
I was for sure. I was really confident that Cornerstone was gonna be in a flattest advantage character or super break character. I call him Super Break like an HSR because
This will hold.
Super Break was my favorite HSR team, and the Afflatus Advantage just really reminds me of that. And it doesn't have a name right now, I guess, other than Afflatus, but they haven't been calling it that. So I'm just gonna call it Super Break until that team gets an actual name. But I thought she was gonna be a Super Break character. I did. I was worried because I skipped Miss Stranger.
Fletchling. Time to fly. One of my best moves.
Model it. Test it. What are the site conditions?
Time to heat up the sharp.
Just another shift.
Something that low-key kind of sucks about Rhiannon is that her AP-less incantations kind of force you to use incantations you wouldn't normally use because you just need the space. Unless you want to move stuff, which I did not. I mean, I don't really feel. This is a survey, so who cares? But like in actual competitive play,
What you think about this?
I mean, I guess we'll see when I actually get her on global. Look at Jay, man, just dishing out fucking 3.5, 35k, man, every time he does it. Or 350,000. Really, every time he does a counter now. I mean, I know he's at P2 here, but like, it's still really cool to see him succeed on a, you know, competitive level. The dude's really viable now. It's insane.
Hear me.
Let's remeasure this.
A flurry of arcane skills.
A blueprint of greatness.
I'm an artist with steel. Melt it down, forge it up.
Let's finish things off with the boy, with the demon.
Is it over now?
I'll clip all the rewards after I'm done with the story. I'm excited for this one. Cornerstone was my absolute favorite character in the temporal scale, so I'm very excited to see just what she would end, just what her character story ends up, because I really liked Ever Echoes. Hold on, I just gotta pull up my translator. Ooh, I like this music. The violin is moving me. Okay, it's gotta set the language to Chinese. Gotta get the OCR. There we go. Okay, let's get it started. 100,000 billion sketches. What a blunt way to begin. I like it already. I wonder if this is an origin story or an after story. Okay, it looks like we're at Cambridge. It's Q. What the heck? Oh, I forgot to close the. Hold on, I'm pulling up Task Manager. I gotta reset the translator. CR hotkeys, there we go. Okay. There you go. Okay, we're ready. The lecturer slammed a large stack of manuscripts down on the lectern and made a very exaggerated gesture of wiping sweat from his brow. First of all, I'm delighted to see so many enthusiastic students here for the final session of the Modern Urban Planning course. I imagine you're all probably eager to enjoy summer vacation once this week is over, so I'll keep this brief. I really enjoyed this semester as a guest lecturer, but unfortunately this is probably the last time we'll be here. The teenagers in the audience let out a series of strange cries that expressed their reluctance to part. I too would be incredibly sad if I had Cornerstone as my teacher and then I just never saw her again. Oh, don't do that. Once you've completed your studies and graduated, if any of you are interested in joining our firm, I think we'll still have the opportunity to continue working together. Well then, so the second piece of bad news is... Bob, Defash, Michelle... Since you failed your final assignments, your vacation might be delayed a little. But, don't worry, you'll have one chance to retake the exam. First up is Bob. I'm so glad you weren't in charge of urban planning in Los Angeles. Otherwise, the city would be choked with traffic accidents. A timid voice piped up from the audience. Ma'am, I just think that in the Los Angeles of the future, every American citizen will be able to... So you removed all the sidewalks and bike lanes. What? Why? How the fuck? What? Okay, yeah, I agree with her. That literally makes no sense. Why would you not want Los Angeles to be in any way walkable? Like, in any way walkable. You know how much I had to walk when I was in LA? And, like the multiple times I've been in LA, it's literally just been walking. I mean, it low-key kind of sucks because LA is not a very fun walkable city. But... the point is, we didn't need our car all the time, right? Because LA is so goddamn far that we usually just fly. So we obviously we don't bring our car with us. If we ever have to drive, we just get a rental or call an Uber. So yeah, that's nuts. Imagine not being able to. And bike lanes, dude. What the fuck did bike lanes do to you, bro?
In the name of the good citizens of Los Angeles,
I hereby declare that you are not qualified. Oh no. The student who was called on slumped back into his seat. Next up is Dufash. He has quite an imagination, with floating islands covered in foil and residents encased in glass. What the fuck? Oh my god. Guys, modern architecture isn't Minecraft. I have little to no knowledge about architecture at all. And even I know this isn't fucking Minecraft. You can't just do whatever. Unfortunately, the assignment was on urban planning, not illustrating science fiction novels. See, there you go. She literally just said it right there. Oh dang, she's kind of cute. Ma'am, I've heard that people have discovered something amazing on the moon.
like...
Perhaps in the not too distant future, maybe 2062, our cities will look like this. Dude, what the fuck? This is not blank era, no way. Is it? Maybe it is. Because people talking about 2062 is not something you would see in the big 1999 or the big whatever fucking year they're in now. So this has to be during the blank era. It has to be a prequel, right? Alright, you have a point. So by 2062, I'll be using a cane. Oh wait, oh wait, oh it just loaded. All right, you have a point. So come 2062, I'll come in person, leaning on my cane to give you an A plus.
No.
As for now, that won't work. Ah. Finally, last but not least, is Michelle. At least I think it's Michelle. Could be Michael, I have no idea. The young lecturer handed out the sheets of paper one by one to the students, offering words of praise or advice to each one as he went, and continuing until she had reached the very last student. Mr. Fosh? Oh, is that you, Defosh? Unfortunately, I won't be the teacher in charge of your makeup exams anymore. You'll have to go to the office and ask those old guys what they want. When the registration period opens. No, miss, I'm just curious. What do you think architecture will look like in the future? Me? The architect, accustomed to wandering through a world of whimsical ideas, adjusted her glasses and pondered.
No idea.
Did she actually say that, or? Yep, she did.
First.
Perhaps in your eyes, I am an expert in architecture and urban planning, having designed several projects on my own.
Even so.
However, a city is made up of its residents, and its path of development inevitably involves people's spontaneous choices. Perhaps, as you said, a brand new material will emerge in the future, and people will embrace this seemingly frivolous design style. It will only take about 30 years for people to go from being surprised to accepting it.
Who knows?
Of course, it's also possible that 30 years from now, people will still find brutalist design very trendy. Is that right? Thank you, ma'am. By the way,
Have you finished your design for the monument?
Huh?
what? The students before her and the interior scenery dissolved and dispersed like milk dropping into clear water, and a large hand reached out toward the building. Hey, you can't just take it out on me because you failed the class. Did you have a nightmare? If you sleep on the couch, you're bound to roll off one day. Plus, I never failed a single class back in my school days. I don't know who you're talking nonsense to. The architect rubbed her aching back. Before her stood a colleague she had recently worked with, and around them was the dimly lit classroom.
Wonderful.
Manuscript paper, carbon paper, coffee beans you could use to build a wall, the ruler you snapped in your sleep. Did you use 3 scraps of paper as a blanket? I remember you used to have higher standards for where you lived. In fact, it can also help you keep warm. A colleague who was sensitive to messy environments put away the blanket covering Cornerstone and began flipping through it page by page. An umbrella designed to depict a downpour using silk threads and beads, A cemetery designed around a cluster of recumbent steels.
Honestly,
To be honest, I think all of these monument designs are pretty good. But there isn't any one that satisfies me.
I already told you.
I hope you still remember that the Foundation commissioned you to design the Torrential Rain Disaster Memorial to honor those who lost their lives during that torrential rain, and those who made tremendous contributions to overcoming the first— oh, torrential rain is storm, duh. I hope you still remember that the Foundation commissioned you to design the Storm Disaster Memorial to honor those who lost their lives during that storm, and those who made tremendous contributions to overcoming the first storm. Your top priority is to satisfy the Foundation. As long as the final result is good enough, how much effort you put into it is entirely up to you.
So?
So, what about the final draft?
Well,
I knew it.
Do you remember what the deadline was? The day after tomorrow? Yesterday. You're not a child anymore. You're here to work, and you've signed a formal contract with the Foundation. Delays in the upstream stages will cause a lot of trouble for those working on implementation downstream. I'm sure you understand that. What's wrong? I don't want to treat this topic so lightly. Do you remember the dome we restored a while back? Okay, this is the dream was a prequel. The current day story is an after story, an epilogue of sorts, just like Ever Echoes was.
So?
I don't have Alzheimer's yet. That was just a few months ago. What the fuck? Damn, Grudress does not pull her punches. The Cornerstone picked up a crumpled piece of paper. It was a design that had been personally rejected, and now in the architect's hands, it was reborn. It was a replica of the dome that held meaning only for those directly involved. Because it was so personal, it lacked artistic merit. It's clear that the designers deliberately sought to avoid the dome from that memory, but a design that excludes that memory lacks spirit and emotion. Those who passed away during the storm, and those who made significant contributions to overcoming the storm. My thoughts always turn to my loved ones and that dome up above, but they aren't the cause of this storm. There must be something missing from my perspective, which is why I can only come up with these superficial and narrow-minded assumptions. So you're saying you're planning to stay in your room and meditate until inspiration gets so lonely it comes out on its own. I had thought I'd flown 4 hours just to see the results. The architect standing before her wore an expression of deep regret. The foreman turned her head away, seemingly unable to bear the sight. In short, I'll go back to the Foundation to coordinate the schedule and try to secure about 1 more month. This is the best I can do. Really? What about the cost? You're fairly smart. The trade-off is that I need to go back to the Foundation right now to talk to the project manager and fill this month's schedule with preliminary work on the design drawings. But I was originally supposed to go to Barcelona to help the local Foundation office deal with some minor issues. Oh man, I keep saying it. I would absolutely love a story to be set in Spain. And knowing now that they have a foundation, knowing now that there's explicit confirmation that there's a Foundation office in Spain, it is crazy. It only increases my desire to see an office in Spain. Not office in Spain. A story in Spain. That would be so goddamn cool, man.
Wonderful.
The foreman uttered the words which were meant to convey excitement without showing any emotion. Why does she have the megaphone again? By the way, the flight to Barcelona is set to depart in... What the fuck? It doesn't say how many hours, but... If you grab my ticket and ID right now, you still have time to run away. Does it have to be a plane? I'm actually pretty scared of him. Never mind. Anyway, I owe you one. Oh my god, she's like Mr. T. She hates flying. The architect grabbed her coat and haphazardly stuffed some pencils and drawings into her pockets. She snatched the tickets and dashed out the door. She grabbed the tickets and dashed out the door, snatching them from the foreman's hands. Dude, how the fuck is she gonna get out of here then? This is one of my favorite EPs. I just love the vibe to it, man. It's so cool. Boom, boom, boom. The foreman wandered through the empty, cluttered room, singing a song about releasing floodwaters. In the distance, she could still faintly hear the faucet, which should have been tightly turned off, running. Oh my god, Cornerstone just like me for real. I have accidentally left the faucet on a number of occasions. She casually picked up a scrap of discarded paper and folded it, adding it to the small mountain of other scraps piled beside her.
Wait.
It's gonna be like the greatest design the world's ever seen. The foreman finally noticed how extraordinary the thickness was. Has she slept all these past few days? No, probably not. That woman's blood is pure caffeine. If Monster Energy existed in this universe, I guarantee fucking that shit would be like, she would have that shit stacked in the fridge, man. She would have six pack after six pack of Monster Energy just in the fridge, and she would down that shit like it's no tomorrow. I have friends who drink that shit like religiously, like literally at multiple every day. I don't know how the fuck they do it. I mean, I just don't know. I have no. I mean, I swore off caffeine just in general. So I would never know. Distant, professional, meticulous. The Foundation staff member standing before her had matched the basic impression Cornerstone had of them. It was as if even the creases in their shirts were... What the fuck? Why are we back at Green Lake? Except that the location of their meeting wasn't quite nice. The curious architect glanced back, checking again and again to make sure her eyes weren't playing tricks on her. What the fuck are we doing back at Green Lake? Clusters of tents, large and small, stood on the forest floor. Any civil servants, sorry, I was tired, it's early, who are usually very reserved, were eating their fill of bean sprouts cooked in small iron pots. The scenery was so rare that deep down, Cornerstone silently regretted not having seen it with her own eyes.
Excuse me?
Is there a Boy Scout campout happening here today, or something like that? The person standing in front of Cornerstone seemed to realize that he would be responsible for explaining this absurd scene, which was hardly a pleasant prospect to begin with.
Miss Grundris.
It's a long story. Wait, what? She thinks she's bro? Come on, guys! You cannot be this stupid.
I'm Cornerstone.
Thank you for saying it. Miss Cornerstone. She wasn't sure if it was just an optical illusion caused by Cornerstone, but she felt as though the person across her was about to burst into tears. Oh, my mistake. I swapped shifts with Miss Grundris at the last minute. I'll handle the handover shortly. In short, I'm here to help you, so no matter what problems you're facing, feel free to talk to me.
Thank goodness.
We all know that only the headquarters building can shelter us from the storm. We have established offices in various locations to carry out the Foundation's functions, but eventually we will have to... I need to, like, adjust the fucking translation level. Whether to use an existing building or construct a new one for the Foundation's office, the Foundation's colleagues have differing opinions on this point. So we apply to the Foundation for this plot of land to assess the feasibility of building our own Foundation office.
Oh.
The air is moist, the birds are singing, and even the spiders and geckos are full of energy. This really is a wonderful place. First and foremost, it's very close to the airport, which allows us to quickly evacuate back to headquarters as a group during a storm. A good location beats everything else. This is true. The person in charge provided a fitting follow-up.
So...
But you said buildings other than headquarters. Yes, currently only the headquarters possesses the quality of being irreversible, Mom. Recalling the matters Grundris had repeatedly urged her to keep a secret, Cornerstone swallowed the words she was about to say. Oh, so it looks like the dome... Is the dome, like... Are they not allowed to talk about the dome? Within the Foundation, the actual number and location of irreversible items cannot be widely disclosed.
Miss Grundris.
Why does she say Miss Grundris? She isn't mentioned at all in this sentence. What the fuck? Getting back to the main point, due to the uncertainty caused by the heavy rain, the building was constructed using a precast slab structure, which allowed it to be completed within 2 weeks. Oh, I'm very familiar with this type of building. I spent my childhood in a neighborhood made up of buildings like these. It has a more widely known name. Tongzi... I doubt that's the name,
Yes.
but sure.
I see.
It's probably some Polish thing that got lost in translation. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, I think I have a pretty good idea of what I'm here to do. There must be some safety issue within this building that has made it structurally unsound, which is why that you've had to take temporary shelter outdoors. To be honest, I think at a time like this, you guys should be staying at a hotel. It's better than competing with geckos for food out there. It would probably bleed into the budget, though. The nearest hotel is 70 kilometers away, and... it doesn't work for fucking one character answers. Identifying potential structural hazards and inspecting a building's load-bearing structure, that is indeed my colleague's area of expertise. But don't worry, I'm just as qualified, so you can leave this to me with confidence.
Miss Grundris.
Miss Grundris, yeah, she said that.
I'm Cornerstone.
Yep. In fact, there are no problems with the main structure of the office building. Huh? Are you familiar with ghosts or souls or whatever you want to call? Oh my god, this is how many times are we gonna have to deal with this? We already had this in Ever Echo's character story. We're just dealing with ghosts all the time now. I did not mean to skip that. But essentially she says yes. We asked headquarters to send an investigator who is... We've requested assistance from headquarters in the form of an investigator who is familiar with ghosts and holds a construction license to help us resolve this anomalous incident. I think ghosts in this case refers to shades. So I'll probably just start saying that. So the headquarters recommended Miss Grundris to us. Shades? I don't understand why you need an architect to understand shades. The Foundation must have quite a few occultists who specialize in exorcism. You should turn to them. You're right. When the paranormal activity began, we immediately followed the guidelines in the emergency handbook for encountering ghosts in the office. Holy shit, that's a thing. And contacted the nearest exorcist. But they were all dragged out of the house by their collars. Damn, Ann just don't want to work. That's so real. Did they say what happened in the building? Just one sentence. That powerful ghost said to bring one person at a time. Someone who knows how to build houses to meet it.
I see.
I understand. It's within my scope of work. Maybe I did misunderstand the job description at first, but don't worry. This is still within my area of expertise. I have plenty of experience dealing with these mischievous little creatures who love to eat erasers and scrap paper. The vast majority of them are just like newborn babies.
Miss Grundris.
Can she stop saying that when she doesn't mention Grundris at all? Your words put my mind at ease, Miss Cornerstone.
I'm Cornerstone.
Okay, well, I guess I stand very mightily corrected. By the way, have you guys set up a tent for me? Or coffee. Anything that can replace sleep, really. I might not have slept for a few days. My heart feels like it's pounding against my chest, saying something I can't understand, but that sounds very serious. Something like sudden cardiac arrest or something like that. It's muttering something under its breath. Oh my goodness, but you actually look pretty healthy. It's unbelievable. Thank you. It takes architects to meet with client. It takes an architect to meet clients with a cheerful smile after a week of sleep deprivation. The designer, who looked frail and weary, was unable to stick to her principles. I see. You can go to the right and head to tent number 7. The original occupant of that tent returned to the Foundation's headquarters yesterday. We can start our investigation tomorrow. You're so understanding.
It'll be fine.
Oh, sorry. I really have to go get some rest now. See you in 11 hours.
Miss Grundris.
Sweet dreams, Miss Crunch.
I'm...
Never mind.
Forget it.
Oh my god. It's just like Black Ibis or Black Ibis. How she forgets her cadet name, her cadets' names. It's literally just like that. That's so funny. Although this isn't as funny as Black Ibis. Good night. What is this? Move the blocks to place them in the mold on the left. Oh, okay. I think I see what we're trying to do here. Yup. Easy. Okay, they're reusing Cosmic Overture, Claire de Lune. This cutscene looks similar to a Spring Unending one. Or maybe it was another story, I can't remember. Unlike the Korean season, when Stasia was invited to the academy, it was summer. A time when the lingering warmth of dusk could still make the asphalt give off a toasty aroma. That was a very unremarkable time. Whether it was during my childhood, my school years, or after I actually became an architect, unrealized dreams, overwhelming homework, and the days when I was at the top of my game, these must be remembered. Everything that comes after must be even more worthwhile than this time. But it's this classroom that keeps appearing in my dreams, over and over again like an echo. There are no boring bureaucrats here to criticize me based on their amateur aesthetic standards. Nor are there any shameful business people here who disregard planning and common sense in their rush to snap up prime locations. I don't consider myself the kind of arcanist who is tormented by trauma, nor do I lie awake at night, endlessly replaying those painful scenes in my head. Okay, Part 1, exams. Maybe the architect licensing exam barely counts. I always dreamed that I'm back in that exam room, but forgot to bring my ID. But architecture is, after all, a profession that looks to the future.
Yes, the future.
Oh, it's that girl again. Dufange? You've never talked to us about your own work, and I haven't been able to see it for myself. So, here I am again. Would you like to talk to me about them? This is a dream. The dreamer need not answer the questions posed by the phantom figures within it. The first project I designed on my own, after no longer being an apprentice, was a warehouse. Ho ho! Whoa, are we back in Chicago? To be honest, compared to a library or a theater, which are compared to libraries, theaters, and government offices, it doesn't require aesthetics or conceptual vision. All you need to do is build a storage space that meets the specifications on a designated plot of land. But, even so, I still messed it up. A few more years passed after that, and it was a certain park that really brought me a bit of fame. Isn't it just one building? Oh no, architects can do much more than you might think. But anyway, I set up a viewing platform that looking back now, even I find it quite a bit over the top and frivolous, though its design did attract quite a few people. After that, I finally had the vocabulary I had been lacking to describe my design style, and even enough to get featured in magazines. And the way the newspaper used it, as I understood it... Are they still there? It's gone. It's gone, dear. It's 1987 now. They all disappeared with you into the storm, and the curtain of rain. And then there's the future.
The future.
Those who vanished into the rain, those who helped you get through the rain, the things you want to etch into your memory. It's not just old things floating in the water. In the storm, something new, something that should have come into being, something that belongs to the future.
Like a twig.
They're all gone.
From both ends.
You said it for me. So her students vanished in the storm and she's having nightmares about it, huh? Was not expecting this one to have whoops. Was not expecting this one to have 9 stages. Oh god, I'm currently streaming. Wow, it can't be that bad. Sorry, no, I'm checking my Discord. Friend DM me. Okay? Miss Cornerstone and I have now entered the main structure of the Foundation's branch office. We are in the reception area, and so far there have been no disturbances.
Attention, everyone.
Everyone else, please bring the nitrated garlic extract and prepared according to standard protocol, fill the Foundation standard exorcism device with it, and stand by at the south entrance. Miss Cornerstone, we're ready. That's really reassuring.
So...
Ghost. Doesn't it appear on Mondays and Wednesdays? In some of these movies I've seen, these kinds of ghosts usually grab their victims by the neck with an invisible hand, or quietly thrust a sharp object into. What the fuck kind of movies are you watching, bro? Poltergeist? It's a little too quiet around here. Doesn't it ever talk to you guys?
No.
Oh, wow, that sucks. No, it has never tried to communicate with us through language. But I'm certain that once we blindly began, but I'm certain that if we blindly search the building, the terrible things that happened to me and my colleagues will surely happen again. Smash you with a 5 centimeter thick employee handbook? Okay, so she has been watching Poltergeist. Worse yet, it'll bounce you around like a ping pong ball.
All right then.
Alright, the little trick I just learned from Nova Mietz might come in handy. Do you mind if I use an arcane spell here? That's fine, but you'll need to explain the circumstances and the reason for using it, ma'am.
I see.
Well, my friend told me that ghosts are usually entities associated with the past, and it's not uncommon for ghosts to be attached to buildings or other objects. To find out what it looks like, all I have to do is ask the building itself. The shape that the geometry aspires to take is honestly revealed through its outline. A coyote, a cube, or crescent moon.
First.
All you need to do is find a thought that can fill the outline of the bricks. That's it? Come on, give me a challenge.
This is it.
Oh my gosh, it's the old sort of security room from Theft of the Remake Cop. This is the office's monitoring center. From here, we can use the cameras to keep an eye on every corner of the building. You can also use the intercom over there to make an announcement throughout the building. This is the courage I need. No need for a parapsychologist who can communicate with ghosts. No need for a third category psychic frequency. This is a vocal organ tailor-made just for you. Now, let's say hello to everyone.
Hello.
Aww. A child's voice came over the loudspeaker. If this is Lucien, bro... It sounds more like a girl, but... yeah. What's going on here, Miss Cornerstone? I'm communicating with this building. There are no ghosts here. The problem lies with the building itself.
You mean...
The Foundation staff member quickly skimmed through the documents in her hands. I understand perfectly. The main building of our office, unusually, has become a catalyst for awareness. Awareness? Is this my... Oh, it's an awakened! Or at least some form of object that has taken arcane consciousness. No, you can choose a name you like. Well, chatting with a living, breathing building. That kind of fairy tale is a little too far-fetched for someone my age. Could you stop using your mystical powers to drive away the people living inside your body? Buildings are the integration of human living spaces. People need spaces for both work and life. these arcanists, human beings, are living inside my body, and it's very uncomfortable. Garlic, talismans, pendulums, and fine salt. This is really uncomfortable. Stop throwing those things at me.
Oh.
This temperament is just like my old friends. I would like to formally apologize to you on their behalf. Just an apology?
All right then.
Would renovating a living building kind of be like a makeover for them? Let me think. We can repaint the exterior, reinforce your structure, extend your lifespan, or would you prefer a more luxurious interior design style? Miss Cornerstone, we don't have that kind of budget. Humans are once again judging others based on their own narrow-minded views. You seem to know a lot, but theoretically you were only recently born. Is this a characteristic of some kind of conscious awakened?
I see.
It only takes a year to become a qualified behavioral officer and a legal employee, a legal worker. I think I suddenly understand why the Foundation has so many employees who aren't willing to use their human brains properly. Like I said, I need to know how to build a house.
Yes.
When I heard that you needed someone who understands architecture, I thought you might be looking for an architect to maintain or optimize your body. But you, my dear, you denied this yourself. Teach me how to build a house. You don't even have hands. Oh, your mysterious powers. If you can toss dozens of healthy adults around like toys, then perhaps completing the construction on your own wouldn't be too difficult for you.
Even so.
Although from a safe security assessment standpoint, I strongly advise against doing this. If you can teach me, maybe I'll agree to let you move in. I know that's how you guys do business. May I ask why? Alright, seems like we have no other choice. The Foundation probably won't be able to get a second plot of land in a better location, and these days tearing down a building can actually lead to charges of murder. Oh my god, that's true, I didn't even think about that. If you demolish this building, you'd be killing a living being. Well, not killing because it's awakened, but like, still. Ma'am, how long does it typically take for someone with no relevant education to become a licensed architect? If I follow the local rules, I think it will probably take about 5 years to study the theoretical foundations and to pass the exam. Well, I don't think we can wait that long. This is a very real problem. Well, yeah, dude. You're negotiating with a living fucking building. The hell? Perhaps we should take another look at this farce. The idea of quickly constructing a building capable of serving as the Foundation's office within 2 weeks was unrealistic to begin with. It was bound to fail. And then, as if by some twist of fate, the building we were using for our experiments suddenly turned into a conscious awakened? I don't think we have any reason left to just sit here and suffer like the joke. This building, the land, and concrete used to construct it are all the Foundation's property. Without us, it would have never been built. There was absolutely no reason for it to refuse our request to move in. And you're saying that our every move is being monitored? Well, then I'm not going back inside either. Do you agree with the views, Miss Cornerstone?
Yes.
Yes, from a rational standpoint, this is the best approach. The construction timeline and service life of fabricated panel structures may be a perfect fit for the Foundation's need for a temporary office. But if the storm keeps dragging us backward, perhaps one day we'll find ourselves in an era where precast concrete technology doesn't even exist. Relying solely on my limited knowledge as an architect, I believe that utilizing existing local buildings better meets the Foundation's operational needs across different eras, while also allowing us to integrate more effectively into local communities in unfamiliar new environments. Oh, I have no desire to become a spy. These are just some of my observations from Nova Miech. So my choice is... Okay, that doesn't say anything.
Why not?
I was unable to get the translator. Hold on. The text said, "Sooner or later we will enter an era where even concrete no longer exists." I'm going to teach a class on this building. Or are you gonna teach them? I'll teach it the most basic principles of architecture, and while I'm teaching, I'll try to convince it to let you move in. Perhaps this task won't be completed until the next storm hits. Miss Cornerstone? I know my thoughts are illogical and unnecessary. If it was only at that moment that I realized I really am an arcanist. Even when there's no logical basis for it, whatever passion calls me to action, I always let myself be swept along by it. I understand. I support you, Miss Cornerstone. But this is just my own personal commitment. Now there are two of us. Miss Stasia, as the head of the Foundation's temporary office in Barcelona, I am willing to lead all staff members in helping you accomplish this task.
Huh?
You never mentioned that you are... Compared to you, I suppose I'm still just a small-time figure. When I heard about this plan, I couldn't help but think that it lacked a practical foundation and was not feasible. This is similar to the plans proposed by most arcanists. But I'd have to admit, I'd like to see the Foundation's offices spring up in every corner of the Earth, so that we won't have to simply watch many things unfold from afar through a curtain of rain. Perhaps another approach, making use of existing buildings from that era that are suitable for the Foundation to move into, is indeed a wiser choice. But I don't want to give up on another possibility, even if it's doomed to fail.
I see. What is architecture?
I imagine about half the students would answer, to design a beautiful house. Unfortunately, that's exactly what I thought back then too. Students who have read biographies of legendary architects will say, talent, genius, inspiration, aesthetics. Not even arcanists would believe that these ethereal terms could be used to construct a modern building that complies with regulations and is safe. So, what do you think architecture is? Ugh, I hate these one kanji characters. I can never. That's me. Oh, me. I guess so. Let me think about how to explain this. Cornerstone pulled a pen out of her pocket and began tapping it on the control console, which was covered with gauges and knobs. Architecture is a spatial unit created by humans to meet their needs. Because we have a need for places to eat, we need cafeterias. Because we have a need for aesthetic experiences, we need theater. Whether to savor fine cuisine or to savor love. So I too am a unit created to serve humans and arcanists. Don't you like this definition? I think I will need to know who I used to be before I can imagine who I will become in the future.
The future.
The architect mulled over this overused term. Can you control the pen in my hand? Just like this, gently press the pen against the drafting paper. With a single stroke, you can draw a line. Looking south from here towards Barcelona, you can see countless homes and other functional buildings. Try sketching the building you want to design.
I'll try.
As if some mysterious 20th century seance were taking place, the pen in Cornerstone's hand stood upright, its tip pressing down onto the manuscript paper. A pen, not designed for anything other than a Homo sapiens arm, trembled as it drew crooked lines on the paper, occasionally tripping over the crumpled paper and splattering scattered droplets of ink. By the time she had painstakingly drawn a square, the nib of the pen had been bent in a rather unhealthy direction. Actually, I'm quite fond of this rather pricey Red Dot Award winner. I'm a terrible artist, aren't I?
Well,
Maybe you still need a pair of human arms, just like the other conscious awakened I've seen. But the blueprint shows that their bodies are all quite compact. Not a 10-meter tall residential building. I'm afraid such massive humanoid armor would only appear in science fiction novels. Teacher, could you show me how to use these brushes?
why not?
I see, so these need to all add up. Okay, wait, hold on. No. 3, this is 1. This is also... Oh, this is 2. Okay. Shit, how do I reset? Fuck. Perfect. Oh shit, my headset's close to death. I have another one, a plug-in one, so I'll probably be switching to that later. Oh shit, a whiteboard. Have we seen this backdrop before? Today, we won't be discussing how the River Villa was designed in just half a day, nor will we be discussing how Paris's urban planning originally combines artistic expression with historical heritage. Of course, I wouldn't go gossiping about the love lives of those famous architects either. After all, I'm actually a little tired, so I'll let you guys lead this class. Everyone is welcome to share their thoughts on what kind of buildings they'd like to design in the future.
Why not?
To keep the conversation going, I'll make an exception and briefly talk about my... Boo! I wanted to hear about her boyfriends, what the hell?
When I was a kid...
Oh, okay, she's talking about her origin. Fairs. When I was a child, I lived in a small remote community in Eastern Europe. For most of you here, this place name is probably unfamiliar. Nova Mieć. So the most common type of housing in our area is row after row of tube-style buildings. That is the so-called prefabricated concrete panel housing. I'm sure you all know what those are like. Poor design, poor sound insulation, poor durability. Ugh. I really hated that place. To be honest, my favorite pastime as a child was drawing beautiful homes. But Professor, you said in the first class that architecture isn't just about drawing pretty houses.
Yes.
The reason anyone takes that first step might be silly. So what about you, Dufange? First of all, I think today's architecture is really boring. Cornerstone raises an eyebrow. Just as Le Corbusier invented brutalism, I hope that in the future I can invent an architectural style that's not quite so boring. Some of the friendly atmosphere in the classroom faded, and the students began to wonder how the instructor would judge this somewhat jarring opinion.
Well,
Well, first of all, I don't think brutalism was invented by Le Corbusier. Cornerstone turned around and sketched the basic outline of the Marseille apartments on the Marseille apartments on the blackboard. No visual style or aesthetic movement is the work of a single architect. The fusion of military-industrial design language with that of the civilian sector, the emphasis on functionality, and the use of new building materials are often considered the foundation for the emergence of brutalism.
Like...
A tube building?
yes.
Of course, a new design language will inevitably emerge. I'm just saying it won't be invented out of thin air. Cornerstone leaned casually against the lectern, took off her glasses, and shook out her hair. Damn, she's pretty without glasses. I never thought I'd say that about a woman. I always thought I'd like women more with glasses on. I mean, I do love me aluminum glasses, but there's something about glasses that just make a woman so much more attractive. But I guess it's the gap, right? Seeing one that usually wears one without it. New developments give rise to new designs. Architectural design embraces everything equally. The barrenness brought on by war, and the golden age brought about by prosperity. These concrete surfaces, which were originally left untreated due to cost considerations, may one day no longer be considered beautiful. Like brutalism, separatism is an aesthetic that can only be appreciated but no longer understood, watching as its own era fades into the past. They will become a certain? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe meant to say curtain. Teacher, is that what you expect? Do you hope for that kind of future to come? Actually, I consider myself a fan of brutalism, so of course I wouldn't. I consider myself a proponent of primitivism, brutalism, so of course I don't expect a future like that to come to pass. But it will come eventually, and new designs and new landmark buildings are sure to emerge. It is bound to be a building that looks like the first generation Mac, and it will be called computer cubism. The aviation industry will replace the military industry as the dominant influence in design language, and the internet will bring the concept of extreme minimalism back into our field of vision. Watching the student talk nonstop, a simple smile appeared on Cornerstone's face, now free of glasses, as if she were experiencing the joy of teaching the next generation for the very first time. Teacher, we all want to design buildings that stand out, but if each of us sets out to design buildings that are unconventional, doesn't that mean that being unconventional is also a form of mediocrity? Inquisitive. Cornerstone put her glasses on, took out the notebook that had been with her for many years, flipped through it, and found a page that had been marked in red. Oh, it's just entirely fucking red, okay. This is a red canvas. If you want to add a new color to it, which one would you choose? Ultramarine? Pale yellow? Maybe off-white would work too? Yes, that's fine, because it's only when we apply different colors that the brushstrokes take on meaning. However, the colors we chose are based on red. And the so-called unique architecture does not necessarily mean that the designer's ideas are particularly rebellious or forward-thinking, or that he or she is exceptionally talented. Without the legacy accumulated by the previous generation, the red we take for granted, the so-called uniqueness would lose its very basis for existence. I think I get it. In other words, does everything around us that we're accustomed to give rise to new things?
Yes.
So before you actually become licensed architects, I hope you'll take the time to really understand how everything around you came to be the way it is today. Perhaps they are old-fashioned and boring, but the things we accept today were, at the very moment of their creation, far too novel and unaccepted. The new and the old will continue forever. You will grow up, and I will grow old. No, nothing truly lasts forever.
I didn't get to grow old. You didn't grow up either.
Even though we were merely a teacher and a student who have met by chance. Teacher? The feel of chalk on a blackboard pulled Cornerstone slightly away from that memory of the past. So she's still mourning her students in essence. That's... damn. Although chronologically speaking, it is an event that has not yet occurred. It's fine. Summarizing with chalk was indeed the right approach. You've basically got the hang of it. Now, how can we use geometry to describe the shape of a building?
First,
I'll ask my colleagues to find some materials for you. Next, we'll build a model to verify the feasibility of this design. If its structure does not collapse under the model conditions, we can tentatively conclude that the design is safe and reasonable. Of course, in reality, it's certainly not that simple. Otherwise, I would not have a meticulous foreman like Grundris. Okay, I've switched to my other headset. There we go.
huh?
Does it look like me? Cornerstone begins to examine the drawing on the blackboard closely. Humans cannot grasp the amount of space their internal organs occupy, but for those whose consciousness have awakened, who can glimpse inside their own bodies at any time, this is likely not a problem. There are serious errors in both the design and proportions. But why would you draw yourself? I mean, well, you've already been created, haven't you?
I'm searching.
I don't know what I'm looking for either. Maybe something similar to me. I suppose since I don't have feet, I can't build what I'm looking for, like Baba Yaga's hut, and make my way to the sea. There remains a gap of between the logic of the architecture and the logic of the architect. I see. In short, rather than designing a new house, you'd rather bring yourself back to life. Perhaps the construction drawings from that time are still preserved here. It looks like there's more to find now. I don't want the construction drawings.
I want to see myself.
Myself. I've always been curious about how you see us, but when I think about it, how we can only communicate with you here where there's a microphone, I begin to understand. You can only see the world through surveillance cameras, so for you, this building is the entirety of the world you can perceive.
Yes.
You may have learned a lot from the office computers, but all you can ever see are those few small fixed areas on the screen. Even I am just a blurry figure in your line of sight. Yes, if that weren't for that huge mirror, I think I'd spend my whole life seeing nothing but these few small rooms. I just realized how much it must suck to be an Awakened, bro. Oh my god. Or at least an Awakened that can't move. Are you feeling sad for me?
You've enlightened me.
Sad? No, I've just suddenly figured it out. Classes are suspended. I need to start a short-term flexible construction project. Teacher? Don't worry, I was one of the best at hands-on work back in college. Are you ready? Ready to go out and see the world? Oh, they're playing the psychedelic Butrovka or whatever it's called. The one that's named after a beer. Or a wine? Or a vodka? I don't even know. Okay, we got 5 stages left. I need to be out of here by like 10:30, so if unfortunately I don't finish, then I don't finish, but I think we should be able to finish. Once the Foundation has confirmed in that exact area we were in, there have been 2 places I've wanted to visit. The first stop, of course, is Marseille. The apartment complex Le Corbusier designed there has been designated as an architectural heritage site, and I certainly couldn't miss out on all the excitement. The second place, I think, is Barcelona, where the German pavilion designed by Ludwig Mies van der Rohe has been fully reconstructed, and people say it's just like being back in 1929. This is a wonderful era. For someone like me who considers herself a devotee of brutalism, where everything I admire has been recognized by the times and has earned the status of a style that represents the past 50 years. Similarly, this was also the year shortly after the first generation mic was released. It's still a long, long way from being a classic, for becoming what is known as a classic, let alone serving as an inspiration for any design. This is a residential design inspired by computer-generated imagery. One of my students once mentioned this idea. I think it should fit your requirements for the future in technology. This is completely unbelievable. We flew all the way here just to see these beautiful concrete buildings in your work. Just like those libraries, those theaters, the very things the Soviets once wanted to keep all to themselves, but can't build anymore. That's what technology is all about. That's the future. Simply gone back about a few dozen years or so. To be honest, that's not enough to bring about any earth-shattering changes in the world. Our skyscrapers didn't turn into castles, the security guards didn't become knights, and the arcanists weren't thrown onto a pyre to be burned to death. But this era still feels unfamiliar to me. Yeah, it's no big deal. After all, I'm an architect from 1999. My design never really belonged to this era. Miss Rosella, what are you doing? Shit, I did not mean to skip that. Guys, post more stuff online. Not mean to skip that dialogue part. Whoops. Let me translate it right now. The Foundation staff member followed the director's gaze and saw a seat that would have caused security personnel from any era, anywhere in the world could think. The cornerstone is riding on a person on a floating building block, soaring above the office building as if riding a magic carpet in a fairy tale. On the ground, several Foundation staff members were continuously feeding the line upward, just as if they were flying a kite. Hey! This cornerstone! We've reached the maximum length! These are all the cables in the office!
That'll do.
This is just...
That's too far.
What on earth is she doing? Are you just gonna let some arcanists run wild in here? Let's just watch quietly for now. At the other end of the kite string at the head, the figure holding the cornerstone clutched one microphone, one speaker, and one camera that had been removed. The image data was transmitted back to the ground along the kite string, allowing the building to be clearly seen in the distance. That's... Oh, he's showing the buildings! Beautiful. So this is what looking out means. Countless buildings and countless people living there.
Thank you, Professor.
No need to thank me. Just use your arcane powers to hold me steady. If I fall from here, I'll probably break my neck. Whoa! I thought that as an architect I wouldn't be afraid of heights. How low are you down right now? With a moment even gentler than a falling leaf, Cornerstone was slowly set down on the ground. The building blocks that had been supporting her returned to their original shapes and floated beside the cornerstone, just as they always did. Wait. So that's what her thing is. Her little Minecraft creative mode block thing. Is that the building? Or was it just being controlled by the building? We connected all the transmission lines in series, so you can use your arcane magic to control this camera at any time, whether you want to look at yourself, as if in a mirror, or gaze out at the surrounding scenery. It's much easier now.
Thank you.
The building fell into an unusual silence. I think I need to apologize for kicking you out. Have you finally realized that we're not actually bad people who mean you any harm? That's not quite right. I just feel really fed up. Felt really fed up. When I first opened my eyes, all I could see were a few small spaces. The library, the cafeteria, countless offices, the poorly soundproofed dorms, and the lobby where visitors never came. I watched you in silence for a long, long time. I don't have any eyeballs, so I can't look away. I can't leave here. But I am a house, and perhaps this kind of work is my calling. One day, I felt like I couldn't take it anymore, and I suddenly really wanted to be in a quiet place where no one was around.
It'll be fine.
There are many arcanists like you at the Foundation. The trouble they awakened. The trouble they caused after they developed consciousness was no less than this. Miss Rosella, who had been watching the entire process from the sidelines, stepped forward and patted the Cornerstone on the shoulder. I'm very pleased to see this matter come to such a harmonious conclusion, where people in architecture have reached a consensus and resolved their differences. I think Miss Kenna would be pleased to hear about this little incident. I'll be sure to include your contribution in the report, Miss Cornerstone.
Oh.
Oh, I know she helped us out a lot with the Novomietsk situation too. But... Cornerstone turned toward that microphone floating in midair. Our class isn't over yet, is it? You said you wanted to build a building just like yours. I think it's because I feel lonely. So I want a playmate who's exactly like me.
Isn't it?
But I realized it probably can't speak to me the way I do, just like the other silent buildings on this land, right?
Yes.
Yes, buildings are essentially inanimate objects. Le Corbusier described architecture as a device at the service of humankind. Modern philosophy's engagement with architecture is also based on this premise that human consciousness is the absolute subject. So, that doesn't matter anymore. Can we get to know each other all over again? Can we be friends? Maybe you guys could teach me all over again? I can dig up any information or tools you need and use my arcane powers to deliver them to you in the blink of an eye, just like a real witch's cottage. That must be a truly enviable sight.
So...
Looks like I completed my task without a hitch.
thank you.
Miss Cornerstone, thank you for your help. No, actually I was sent here because I didn't finish my work on time. I know. The Foundation wants to erect a monument commemorating the storm. 3 months ago, I had no idea what I was supposed to commemorate or mourn, but now I've come up with many new ideas that have convinced me. Not just loved ones, pioneers, volunteers, and tragedy. What? Okay, that doesn't make any sense, so I'm just not gonna read it.
Yes, I hope.
I hope my designs will make people think more about that than just the past. I have a ghost friend. The echoes she weaves mourn endlessly for things past and things that are about to fade away. I want to follow her example and remind people of another thing that is also fading away. The future. Future? We lost the year 2000. As a result, we lost out on a new generation of computers, the chance to glimpse the far side of the moon, and a wave of new design concepts and aesthetics. There should have been many innovative designs that broke with tradition conceived in the year 2000, or even further into the future. But now they, along with everything else we mourn, has been cut off behind the curtain of rain. Yep, that's unfortunately true. Tron Legacy came out in 2010, so no one in this universe has seen it, which is an incredibly massive tragedy. You're starting to sound like a soldier. Of course now the fucking translator decides not to work, god damn. Yeah, if there's a general in the future who wants to help take it back, I will be the first to pick up a shovel and help dig trenches. But before that, even the present moment that we are accustomed to around us has disappeared. As a designer in 1999, I want to follow the correct time as much as possible. I thought it would be really cool to present the visual trends of the new millennium to the medieval Pope. So no matter where we drift in the future, the Cornerstone looks at the building from a distance and the growing trees surrounding it and the tone of the Foundation staff.
Architecture is eternal.
This is great, man. It really does remind me of Lorenz's story and Rachel from Lorenz's story, in which she wants to preserve the legitimacy of human science in a post-arcane world. And I feel like it's kind of the opposite situation here, where the Cornerstone wants to preserve the ideas of the future, the things that people will never see come to pass, and introduce it, right, because it's being lost, and introduce it to people who are in the past, and in a way, I guess, accelerate it. Okay, we've got Kenna. After the last terrible time and space disaster occurred, we've been working hard to promote administrative reforms. Of course, it is now called the Storm. This is the first version of the Storm Evacuation Notice. We plan to cooperate with Laplace to develop a maximum arousal of human and... We plan to cooperate with Laplace to develop a harsh and weird sound effect that attracts the attention of humans and arcanists to the maximum extent. Maybe this notice can be used during the next storm and save more Foundation employees. You should also take a look. restrictions on survey of personal belongings, handling of unregistered persons, emergency measures for collecting rainstorm symptoms. I heard that Laplace is also researching mobile methods based on Arcanum, so that children like your architect friend who like to run around can return as safely as possible. Last time a group of investigators failed to get back to the headquarters before the plane landed, and their bodies were twisted and transformed on the plane. What a mess of worse. Fortunately, the storm had washed away everything before the crash plane hit the ground. Mr. Ione assured me that everything will go on the right track. Grunger selects the words responsible for the lead with some restraint. Miss Kenna, I heard that the Plessex launch base has begun a planned transfer of personnel and projects back to the local branch. Does this mean We're not sure yet. After all, it is only based on the anomaly report of mystical energy sent by Laplace. For instigators who can retreat to headquarters at any time, they need not to act so conservatively. There were several such reports in the past few months, but in the end, they were all confirmed not to be the precursors of the storm. I think Miss Constantine herself is always eagerly looking forward to a method that can more accurately predict the time when when the storm will fall. I am not disinformed.
I see.
Ugh, I get it. You're worried about Cornerstone. If you must use this term, Phil, I do want to know if you've informed Cornerstone in advance that there may be storms in the near future. She is still sightseeing in Barcelona. I am worried that with her confusion she may not be able to reach the edge of the airport even if the storm falls. The location of the Barcelona office is currently the most convenient for commuting. As long as you board a special plane immediately after the storm warning is issued, there's a high probability that you can fly directly to the runway near the headquarters within 2 hours.
Well then.
I understand.
Grundris.
Grundris? I'm afraid Grundris's concerns are not unfounded. Mr. Irenai! The older foreman bowed slightly to her dissident colleague. I heard that you and Miss Kenna have been getting very close lately, and sure enough, you two just happen to be together. I just came to ask about the storm.
We've just received news.
Laplace has sent a warning. Rounds of the storm will occur in the next 2 to 1 hours. It's time to send a message to our investigators. Thank you for coming to inform me. It's okay. After all, your people did a great job in Novamiet. This is true. When Renee finished speaking, the piercing alarm sounded immediately throughout the Foundation headquarters. It seems we don't have much time left. Uh-oh. The gray and white grids carefully control the information they carry within a certain weight. The flow of people flows slowly from the east and south gates of the building. A figure running hard went against the flow of people and entered the house. are the same. The crisp sound of horse hooves was drowned out by the somewhat panicked footsteps of people. People are thinking as long as they escape quickly, they may be able to avoid being erased by the storm. Only the sound of horse hooves came closer and closer toward the depths of the building. Rosella grabbed hold of the Cornerstone, who was running against the flow of people. No, no, Cornerstone! Did you leave something behind? It's about to fall!
I know, but I
understand finally. The delivery vehicle will arrive in 5 minutes. Once everyone is assembled, we'll take off immediately and you will have to find another way to get back to headquarters.
Thank you.
Oh, she's trying to save the building. One by one. Cornerstone, you're back. What happened? Why are people running outside? Did I drive them out? No. I don't know. She didn't know. Cornerstone didn't know how to explain it. Yes, I'm back. I went to the old site of the expo. There was this building that I admire very much. That it's not a building left by the architect. It was demolished more than 50 years ago and rebuilt last year. I drove out to see it yesterday. The architect skirted around the question and started talking about a completely unrelated topic. The last time I saw it, I was a preteen. In other words, are you over 60 years old? Not at all. I found the Cornerstone laughed twice inappropriately. I'm going to tell this joke to Grundress and call this type of joke a storm joke. I know something is going to destroy this place, including me. Yes, the storm. Then, you're going to hide in another building? Yes, only that building that can take us away from the storm. That must be a very impressive building. If I still have a future, I also want to become such a powerful building. This way people don't have to rush away from here.
We can't take you with us. I'm so...
No, just like you said. Perhaps tens of thousands of years ago, a certain Homo sapien built it out of the desire to take shelter from the rain. When building a The hell? God, the translation's being so weird. I don't have an... Stasia, I don't have a name yet, but I really like the name Architecture.
I was so happy that I could shield you from the wind and rain, even if it was only for a short while.
Oh man, that's so sad.
Goodbye.
Seconds passed, and Cornerstone heard an urging horn in the distance.
Goodbye, my friend.
I will definitely come back here. One by one, I will sure you'll build you up again as an architect. The architect left without looking back. Behind her, the pen she used floated in the air, swaying rhythmically. This is what architectural has learned. Oh, she's waving goodbye with a pen. Oh, that's so sad. Why do people create buildings? She was slightly distracted by the question, and the poker tower and the card tower of the Cornerstone was building on the table collapsed in an instant. This is it. Do you want to know the standard answer in the textbook, or my more personal thoughts? Yours. Let me think about it. Cornerstone put away the cards and began to find the balance between 3 soda crackers. For humans, the first buildings must have been defensive in nature, just like arcanists exploring the origins of witchcraft. In order to protect themselves from wild beasts, protect themselves from other humans, and protect themselves from wind and rain, people dug caves one after another and lived in darkness in them. The space created to meet needs is the original definition of architecture. But the real problem happens after that. Perhaps one day, a human who failed to rush back to the cave encountered heavy rain. He could only break off a few sections of branches to form a structure that could barely bear the rain. It was then that she discovered that compared to the dull cave, this small world under the canopy could not only receive gentle light, but also receive the rain curtain within reach. Since then, the relationship between architecture and people is no longer a simple relationship between tools and users. The former gradually becomes the medium for the latter to experience nature and beauty. Is this a true story? Unfortunately, this is a fairy tale I made up to educate and entertain. The concept is strictly defined in textbooks. Whether it's a cave or a thatched house, those ugly houses are the rigorous and objective origin of architecture. But maybe there really is such a romantic story in history. That building is that story. Oh, this is so good. When she left the dull cave and encountered a heavy rain on the journey. When she folded the branches, put up an awning, and looked through the lung leaves into the distance.
The concept of architecture was born in that moment.
Again, as someone who has very little knowledge of architecture as a concept, but does have someone who... My older brother is an architect. And as much as I understood that, I never really held any strong opinions on the concept, good or bad. But now this story is genuinely making me appreciate the work that not just he does, but like architects around the world do. Like truly appreciate it. I have good news. I have one good news and 3 more bad news. I want to listen to the good news first.
Well then.
First of all, congratulations on surviving and not letting anyone wait to die in a life or death situation like you were waiting for you to delay the manuscript.
I appreciate your concern.
You seem to think I'm the kind of person who would drag a car full of people waiting for me to say a fond farewell. Then the rest is all bad news. Gruntress let out a long sigh and shook off the design draft in her hand.
Honestly,
I believe this is a design that would go down in the history of architecture. I mean, if the people who wrote the book knew what a storm was. I fairly say this, but the proposal you submitted is indeed worth a month's wait.
however,
The Storm Monument project itself has been cancelled.
I see.
The storm has also caused heavy losses to the Foundation. We no longer have the resources to invest in this project. some ill-intentioned extreme purist arcanist claims that the period of surveying will only become shorter and shorter.
Oh.
This is really not good news for the construction industry. As the local investigators in Barcelona have checked it out for you. That building, your architectural friend left no trace. It's just a wasteland now. Laplace has made a major breakthrough in the application of teleportation techniques, so the senior management believes that there is no need to continue Miss Rosella's project.
In other words,
no prefabricated office buildings like this will ever be built again. As the Foundation's methods of dealing with the storm become more and more mature, I think this small failed plan will no longer be mentioned by anyone. Like all unrealistic losers, they were swept into the scrap heap that no one cared about. Doesn't surprise me either. Cornerstone took a sip of coffee. This was the first satisfying drink she had tasted after months of wandering.
So...
I already told you.
Has my travel permit been approved? As I said, there's no good news anymore. And what on earth did you take me for? Are you at the Foundation's back door? How could it be? You are still my only precious subject who can study the German sense of humor. Too bad you don't seem to laugh at the storm jokes.
Honestly.
You know what? I always feel like there's something missing in your brains. But when I went to attack Arcanus for this, I will sadly find that I am already fond of you. Grunger shook her head and threw the document she had held in her hand to the cornerstone. Or to Cornerstone. Barcelona no longer has what you are looking for. Was that your architectural friend, or was that Barcelona chair you've been dreaming about?
Even so.
Even so, I will still go. You already knew I was like this.
I knew it.
A second sigh came, and as the architect left, she was once again left alone in the room. Everything will be back on track. Oh my god, it's the road. The same road that Hound, Lopera, and Beagle were attacked by Manus forces on where before Igor came and saved them. I heard about the people who died in this storm. Their arms become square. Their heads rolled to the ground and became a perfect sphere that was more standard than the Earth. What will you become? A triangle? A rectangle with a field painted on it? Maybe a small chimney? Just like the children's drawing that every child is drawn. Cornerstone wandered through the overgrown woodland. The drastic changes in the environment forced her to confirm the location of her friend based on the coordinates provided by the Foundation. This is really not a good place to build a house. I can't imagine how much damage those cranes suffered when they came in. The air is moist, the birds are singing, and even the spiders and geckos are alive. This is indeed a great place. Ah, call back, ah. Oh, so this is where that comes from. Cornerstone usually wears tailor-made suits to meet with her client. In social circles, expensive experiences are usually hard goods that are rarely in circulation. But those are meaningless to architects. One by one, she just lay on the grass, letting the dirt stain all the expensive fabrics on her body. Then imagine some kind of hard foundation breaking through the surface, gripping the soil like a root system. Imagine that your body is gradually expanding. Your hands become an extension of your vision, and you look at those in yourself. Such huge giant. The airport is no longer a facility, but another place lying next to you. Creatures, their boundaries are a group of people who call themselves architects strictly delineate. Imagine yourself becoming a building, one by one. I see, I see. First try! Wait, what? Oh, boo, whoa. Okay, okay. I stand very heavily corrected. Maybe it's the other way around, hold on. Yeah, I think we got it, boys. Squirrel! Oh shit. Professor? Have you finished your design? Done. But don't you regret that it probably won't be built?
Architecture is eternal.
Rather, you should congratulate me for finding more things to do. Yeah.
I hope.
Yes, I want to protect your thoughts and dreams. No matter how bad these designs are, I want them to reach as far into the past as possible. These unrealistic, frivolous, amateur, vulgar aesthetics, I will put them in my body, and I will overcome every storm. Everecho mourns the passing of old thoughts. And I remember you, the novel ideas that were supposed to come to fruition in this new millennium. No matter where we return, no matter how rich and valuable the history of the past is. Congratulations, Professor. Congratulations, Stasia. The face of the student gradually became blurry. Before the dreamland flooded the sea level with the rain, Cornerstone finally saw clearly the person in the dream.
Roja?
I am but a whisper.
The building? When light infiltrates your consciousness, I will secretly stay in your heart. I am Dufash. I am Rosa. I am also part of Everecho. I am everyone you love and miss. Goodbye, Stasia. The path you chose is very beautiful. Goodbye. The classroom gradually, as the echoes faded, the classroom began to fade into the distance, and the faces along them were transformed again in the memory. I think this incident must have given her a big blow. Brookbroom shook her head and held the drawing in her hand very sadly. I still remember the housing designs she drew for local people. Although I don't understand architecture, I think those houses would be very comfortable to live in. And these... I said it! This woman must not be an architect! All her designs are ghost-written by others! Oh, that sounds bad. What if Cornerstone was laid before those famous architects were born and all their masterpieces were designed? This must be terrible for humans.
I appreciate your concern.
Hey, I think I heard someone gathering people to start rumors about me. Evreka, or was it Blockbloom? Blockbloom, long time no see. It seems that those 2000 futuristic conceptual designs were seen before me.
What is it?
Oh, it's Yasuo. I can't understand it at all. I'm worried about whether you have been simulated by something.
Huh?
For example, I don't know why you used this three-dimensional huge rainbow gradient technique to design fonts. Oh my god, the fucking 70s futuristic, the more you know shit. Looking like fucking FNAF Pizzeria Simulator. It's bad for my eyes. Historical materials from 1999 are very precious, and you should know how to appreciate these lost future arts.
Our aesthetics are going to be way behind the times when we get back to 1999.
What did Miss Granger say? She declined to comment. That's what I thought.
All right, then.
How is Granny Olga doing lately? I haven't heard from her in a long time. She is in good health. After that storm, the Foundation took us into various branches as insiders of the storm. Olga would be there. She can help with some tasks that require coordination and communication with local people, but others can only help to a certain extent and occupy physical labor. The children are all healthy, and the food is much better here than in Novomir.
I'm glad to hear that.
I heard you had one in Barcelona. It was a very wonderful encounter, and even Laplace was very interested in this anecdote about the about this conscious awakened. We can talk while eating tonight. Until tomorrow, I'll have to fly to other places again. It sounds like you're still very busy, even though the Foundation's architectural commissions are basically at a standstill now. You are still as well informed as ever.
Well,
Well, I plan to travel around the world and record something worthy of recording, even the buildings that only appeared in this era. In addition to being an excellent learning opportunity for me, I think there may be other irretrospective opportunities that I bump into. They often call this the blind cat meets dead mouse investigation method. The belated supervisor handed everyone a thin piece of paper as if she was dealing out cards.
Fill out these visitor registration forms. All of you.
wait.
We finally got together, and your first reaction was to urge us out to fill out these stinky long forms.
So?
That's...
Still.
But your idea is indeed good. I just nodded, then picked up the copies of Yasuo and Everecho and began to fill in the basic information for the two people who had no idea what the registration form was.
Honestly.
The times outside are indeed regressing, just judging from the current storm pattern. Maybe one day those represented buildings of brutalism that you love will become more and more popular. Until it disappears completely. I don't quite understand. Aren't things supposed to get older and older until they disappear? so ends the storm. Well, it seems the world is not finally satisfied with just killing old people. The old ones will die of old age, and what is too new will be soaked to death. This is the world we live in today. God damn, bro! You didn't have to say it like that, much as it sucks. It sounds full of challenges. Maybe this is a world more suitable for middle-aged people to survive. Only those who behave like middle-aged people are not counted. I don't know what you are implying, but according to Foundation registrations, people who have not completed the visitor registration review are allowed to enter the area outside the lobby. Only allowed to enter the area outside the lobby. This includes the cafeteria. Everyone crouched down, chattering. The gust of wind was filled with money on the guest register, and the passing staff were coming and going in a hurry. The poster originally placed on the top was lifted up and gently fell to the ground not far away. The exaggerated artistic words are diffused on the floor, and the sunlight shines like the real light of a rainbow. I actually am very afraid of flying. Every time the plane hovered and made a steering movement that deviated slightly from the horizontal line, I felt like it was capsizing and we were falling to the ground in seconds. The sky outside the porthole disappeared due to the change of angle, and we were forced to start looking down at the entire city. But then, I forgot about my fear. Because it is made up of countless buildings, a complex of buildings stacked brick by countless workers, and there are architects like me who have invested their efforts in planning and verification. Eventually, they came forever. The web woven. Rosa is just like the one I saw in Novomiets. Modern urban planning always has to face one point, which is the retreat of nature in the city. We have to plant streetlights and neon signs that spread light pollution. People can no longer see the ancient and beautiful stars.
But that flight taught me one thing. The stars never truly left us. All we did was pluck them from the sky and sew them into the ground. When passengers on an airplane look down over our city at night, they see a glittering galaxy below. I hope that you'll watch over us like them from above. All my friends and family.
That was fantastic. I like this one more than Ever Echoes. Excuse me. I love the idea of her explaining to a building why architecture is so important to her. I love the idea of, again, like I said before in one of my previous streams, it just really feels like there's someone on the Blue Puck writers team who has a true passion for architecture and just wanted to let it show, right? Just wanted to let it all out. And man, did it fucking shine through. Even though I have architects in my family, I now have a newfound appreciation for the art because of Cornerstone and because of this story. And because of course, the original story. Just absolutely incredible stuff, man. Just genuinely amazing. Thank you all of you for watching.